This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic. And we are back for the Rick and Johnny review for this week. We kind of did a thing, guys. You got the normal Rick and Johnny like you're used to, but if you're new, here's our movie review. We went and did a thing Thursday night because of all this happenstance where we couldn't go Friday night because I was busy with Mark's rehearsal dinner for his wedding. We couldn't go on Saturday because, well, Mark's wedding. And then we couldn't do it earlier on Sunday like we usually do to go see the movie because you were at the Ren Fair. So we went and saw it Thursday night. We're giving our review now, recording this Sunday evening for you guys now listening to it hopefully on Monday morning. But Johnny, if you're new to the whole Rick and Johnny review thing, we're going to start in kind of a non-spoiler mode, and then we will switch over into spoiler mode, but we will warn you so that you can pause it, you can go watch the movie, you can see everything before we basically spoil the shit out of the entire movie.
Yes.
But Johnny, from a non-spoiler kind of view at this was amazing.
Yes.
Like, this was a Spider-Man movie.
But before we get into that, and it's really weird that this is on the Spider-Man review, I want to give our condolences from the Rick and Johnny podcast to the Lee family, just losing Joan B. Lee this past week.
Almost gave me a heart attack.
Our deepest condolences,
gave me a heart attack.
Stanley and family.
Giving out those condolences to the Lee family. But
yes, and every fan of him and
he did another fantastic job.
Yes.
In his cameo in Spider-Man.
He did.
Guy out the window. That was what...
Guy out the window.
Guy out the window was what Stanley was this week, or this movie, I should say. But this was the best Spider-Man. Like, I kind of feel like if we would have done this the night we watched the movie, I would have been like, holy crap, that was really good.
Ricky probably would have seemed like he was on drugs.
I've had some time to simmer down a little bit, but I love the direction that they took with this Spider-Man. I love it. I loved it. Like, I was worried about a couple of things because coming in, I'm like, you always have those worries, especially like with what we've seen before. And the thing I love most about this movie, which I don't think this is Ricky's patented. I don't think this is a spoiler, and then he spoils something. The thing I loved about this movie the most is it kind of reminded me of when we bring up Batman. What's the thing we always joke about with Batman? That everyone knows is what? Everyone knows his origin story.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know that Bruce, his parents died, and he became the Batman. How many times do we have to see that on the silver screen?
Exactly.
To get it through our heads that, yes, Bruce's parents died, and that's how he became Batman. Same thing with Spider-Man. How many times can we see
Uncle Ben
die before we say, we get it? Uncle Ben died. I don't want to cry anymore.
Great power comes great responsibility.
We get that. And I love that they went with the kind of, you know what, that happened. And it happened a while ago.
Yep.
And now he's kind of been doing the Spider-Man thing for, I want to say, 2 years.
I think it's approximately that,
has taken place. But I look at it and I go, because they didn't get that, and plus Tom Holland's performance in this.
Oh, yeah.
This felt like I was in the world of Spider-Man throughout the entire time.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire time of the movie.
Oh, no, it's fantastic. I love the movie. I love the direction they're going in now. Younger Spider-Man. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways. Great villain.
I told you that the Vulture was going to be good.
Yeah.
I said that, you know what? I'm calling it now. Show Stealer Award. And, I mean, this was... when you look at it, you're like, well, it's the Vulture.
Yeah.
How can the Vulture be like, you look at the comic books and stuff, and it's like, wow, the Vulture to me was always like one of the B villains.
Yeah, exactly.
He was on the level of like the Shocker and stuff. You had the A-list villains of like the Green Goblin,
Doc Ock.
I would even put Mysterio in that top kind of.
Even though we never got him in the movie yet.
But that's funny. We're going to get there.
I'm going to say
but the two big ones were basically Green Goblin and Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Are the two main villains for the Spider-Man universe. And they go ahead and give us...
Don't forget Venom.
Venom too. And they go ahead and give us Vulture. And it was just... perfectly how, well, really it's a Marvel movie. It's perfectly how Marvel has this kind of universe and they can just drop Spidey in the perfect way. And I felt like this movie had a great cast to go along with
it was
Tom
fantastic.
Holland, because Tom Holland played the part of kind of high schooler trying to get used to these powers while
trying to still fit in life,
being in high school. But like even like Ned was a perfect comparison to, or a perfect complement to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. You also had Michelle, who was an awesome kind of like love interest from afar, it seemed.
One going after Peter as opposed to Peter going, because we also had the love interest Peter was going for.
Which was Liz, who we're going to spoil some stuff about that later.
Shortly.
But it was, to me, I felt like I just had fun.
Even Flash Thompson.
I just had fun. Like, and I like how they set, and I this popped into my head because you said Flash Thompson.
Okay.
They set up like the whole high school universe as, yeah, this is a school for like smart kids and gifted kids. They're basically all nerds when you look at it. But really there are jockey nerds, there are the popular nerds, there are the nerds. There's
any high school
cliques within the
no
nerds.
matter what. It's like really smart kids, not so normals kids, any high school. It's just like any high school.
Yeah.
There are cliques, there are people who I don't know. It's like any high school. You're gonna have cliques. You're gonna have people who are jock-ish if you don't have jocks. You're gonna have the nerds. You're gonna have the populars. You're
Nerd.
Okay. Anyway, so back to the other point.
But it was just it was perfect with the compliments that they had. Now that the movie did have some things that I questioned a little bit, which, I mean, I went ahead and afterwards read up on. The one thing that I was kind of not upset, but like I was like, I wonder why they didn't go in that direction. Was he never, throughout the entire movie, never had the Spidey sense. And I mean,
I believe that's a spoiler at this point.
I don't think it's it's not, because here's the reason why it's not, because they mentioned it in Civil War.
Okay.
Because they mentioned how, like, when he was talking to Tony Stark in Civil War, he mentioned, like, how he gets, like, this system overload.
Yeah.
And that's why he has, like, the retractable eyes that are always shifting, because it's that to me where I'm like, even, like, in Civil War, I'm like, he doesn't have, like, shouldn't he know that that's coming? And I guess Kevin Feige and stuff were like, well, we wanted to go with a different direction. The other two Spider-Mans did that. We want something different from ours. So I'm like, I looked at it and go, okay, that's not Spider-Man, but I can respect that. The thing I loved most about this Spider-Man was the costume.
Yes.
And the reason why, and this is not a stab at Green Lantern, but it was actual, it looked like actual material.
Yeah.
It wasn't just some CGI garbage that they threw on Tom Holland. It was actually fabric that he was wearing as a suit. And also with the eyes, they gave it, like, they fit it in so perfectly to where they gave the eyes a reason to move, and that shows some emotion with it.
Exactly. No, it's a fantastic way of going around it, because in the comics and even in the cartoons, the eyes would move
with his emotions.
With the emotions. Now this is a perfect way to go about it. It's like, they close up and open up when needed.
And it's not like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man where he just looks at you with that blank face, and Tobey Maguire's giving you a good performance, and it's just like, I can't get the emotion because your face is
doesn't
moving in the suit. So he has the eyes, he has the emotion. I love the setup characters that they had in this. I'll be honest, I am getting ready to spoil some stuff.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So I'm going to ask you, is there anything in non-spoiler mode you want to mention before we go ahead and shift on over into the spoiler zone?
Honestly, I don't think there's much more we can talk about without spoiling stuff.
Well, and this is where I'm going to warn you guys. This is it. This is the warning. Go ahead, hit that pause button, come back. Well, don't hit it yet. Come back after you see the movie. You can go ahead and come and just listen to our spoiler, because we're going to spoil the shit out of this movie. And you can hit that pause button right now. But Johnny, now we are in spoiler mode, and the first thing
the shit out of this.
First thing I want to mention with this, and this could have probably been made in non-spoiler mode, but I didn't want to put it there, was you want to know the first point of this movie where, because like I said, coming into the movie, I was a little nervous of how this movie was going to be because you like with the trailers, I liked the trailers, but I felt like, oh shit, are they giving us too much? Is this like a Spider-Man movie and they're giving us everything in the trailer?
Yeah, give everything in the movie.
To where I'm going to get to the movie and it's going to be like, fuck, man. Like the Washington Monument scene, they made that seem like that was towards the end of the movie. That was like midway through the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That happened. Where that whole sequence happened, I remember feeling like, shit, we got like an hour to go.
Yeah.
Man, that was like, that took a lot out of me. I want to like hit the pause button, go get a drink of some Dr. Pepper, go ahead and go to the bathroom. That took a lot out of me as a moviegoer and the adrenaline of it. But the first point where all I saw, and then it just kind of was like, okay, we're going to be fine, is the Marvel Studios thing comes up.
Oh, yeah.
And all you hear is, dun, 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 and kind of this orchestral score, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, mixing the original.
I'm like, okay, this is going to be good.
Mixing our original Spider-Man theme with like the Marvel Cinematic theme was a fantastic way to go about it.
I'm like, this is going to be perfect. Like, not maybe perfect, but I'm like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
I am at ease with this. And like we mentioned in non-spoiler mode, I love how they wrap this into the universe right away. You get to see Toombs and his people working, and they get shut down by damage control, and it kind of cemented you in the universe, kind of going back, linking you all the way to not Iron Man 1, to Avengers 1, to where they were just picking up the Shatari weapons even.
Yeah, trying to clean up the Shatari weapons, they were trying to break down one of the flying whales, as everyone puts it, because I don't think they ever gave a name to what that creature was.
No, they didn't.
So, yeah, they're trying to, like, break the armor down of that. They're breaking down the ships. They're trying to clean up everything from New York. All of a sudden, nope, get out. I don't care. Well, it shouldn't have paid for all this stuff.
And then they basically had to do it back alleyway. And we also get a lot of Easter eggs in this movie where, we mentioned the Vulture's the main villain. Yeah. But they also kind of, the way I'm understanding this is there were two shockers. Yes. However, the thing is, the first shocker wasn't really the real shocker. That was like somebody else who's...
he had first dibs on the gauntlet.
But he is in the comic books as a different character. Yeah. He gets vaporized, which it was hilarious, where he's like, I thought this was the gravity gun.
No, that's over there.
That's over there. But the second person who takes on the shocker, that's actually the shocker from the comic. Yeah. So we get the shocker right away after that, exactly what I thought we would from the trailer of him punching Peter Parker through the bus. I had a feeling that that was going to be the shocker with the electricity.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic.
On the hands, but even we get at the end, we get the Scorpion. And I don't want to mean to jump all the way to the end, but...
In the post-credit scene.
But they're setting up the universe. They're setting it up.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're trying to set up this Spider-Man to where... Because that's, to me, what I loved about Spider-Man's villains as a whole. Whereas you look at Captain America's villain, he's kind of like... He's a Nazi, and he's kind of this higher above figure. Yeah. You look at most of Iron Man's foes, higher above figures. Thor's foes are usually gods and people from out of this world. And the thing that I loved most about Spider-Man's villains is they were just thugs. They were just thugs and maybe some back alley thieves. I mean, I know you had Doc Croc in there where it was kind of the different, where it's like, okay, he's not necessarily a thug, but you had like the Shocker.
You mean Lizard, right?
Lizard, yeah.
Okay, no, I'm trying to make sure I got the right person.
Who's a thief. You've got Vulture, who's the thief side. You got Scorpion, Rhino, all these guys who are kind of just like thieves and thugs mixed in with like the Green Goblin, who is
now you got powers though.
Billionaire. What?
Well, now they have powers though. That's the thing. That's the difference.
But the thing is, they still have where it's like he's kind of just cleaning up the town, being that friendly. Can't you be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? And I feel like they did that well by kind of having the Vulture, and then kind of introducing like the Shocker is kind of a sub guy to the Vulture.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we find out the Scorpion was a sub guy to the Vulture, and we're assuming will take up the mantle of Scorpion in a future film. It seemed like they were maybe setting up Sinister Six.
A version of Sinister Six, yeah, because we had I don't want to call it an argument, we had a discussion, and you read off
I did
what they had as the initial Sinister Six.
I did, and I looked into that because it looks like they're going as a modified version.
Yeah.
Because there's two that they definitely want to bring into the universe, and one of them I'm excited about. They want to do Doc Ock.
Awesome.
And they want to do Mysterio.
I would love to see Mysterio finally, because, I mean, we've done Doc Ock once. We've done Green Goblin.
Numerous times,
thank you. We did Venom.
Sandman. We did Sandman. We did Venom. But we don't know if we've done Kraven. We haven't done Kraven yet. I think Kraven, Mysterio, and Doc Ock are the three that they might want to throw in there.
Yeah, but I'm excited because the only reason I started slapping you, like patting you on the side and started going Scorpion, because he had that nice big Scorpion tattoo right on his neck, that made me lead to believe like, oh, this is gonna be Scorpion, because why else would they have that?
Why would one guy have a Scorpion tattoo?
Exactly.
And I mean, the thing that I'll say is, I know Dave was like, well, I wish they wouldn't have made it so noticeable. I could have cared less. That was a throw to me. As a hardcore fan, that was a throw to me. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's a Scorpion.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna. That's like a hard. That's them telling you, hey, Scorpion is coming. That's like That's what makes me feel like they're saying.
And also, I mean, the thing we got to get to as well is the Vulture as a villain in this.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Like I said to you, and I want to pose this question to the people listening, is basically I walked out of that theater thinking that Vulture that we watched on the screen, best Marvel villain I've seen in this MCU.
I would put it in the top ranking.
There's not one that I could think of that had me feeling like I did in that movie, where and Michael Keaton, this is a testament to him too, of how great of an actor he is, where when he threatened Peter, I actually thought like I was getting threatened. And I was a little nervous, like, holy shit, he's got that like strong arm dad thing going on.
Yeah.
But with the pistol there.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing I like most about how they spun his character was he's kind of got a code where it's not necessarily, and I want to pose this question to you.
Yeah.
He could have killed Peter.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Could have killed Spider-Man, but he didn't, because at first he says, well, you saved my daughter, and I appreciate that. So I'm not going to kill you. However, stay the fuck away from me. That's basically what he said.
Yeah, stay out of my business.
At the end, Peter Parker saves his life.
Yeah.
When the Chitauri equipment in his wings was going to blow, and he grabbed on and was pulling them so that it would blow up, but it wouldn't kill him. And then he's alive. At the very end, when Scorpion asks Vulture, people say, you know the true identity to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives that answer of, if I knew who he was, he'd be dead already.
Yeah.
I want to give you two things. You tell me which one do you think it is.
Okay.
Is it A, he doesn't want to tell anyone he knows because he wants to kill Peter Parker himself? Or two, that was him saying, I'm not going to give up his identity because he saved my ass. And kind of going off the same thing of, well, he didn't kill him before because he saved his daughter. This time he saved his life. So is it him going, you know what? I'm just going to keep that in and I'm going to go after him myself because he saved my life. And I don't want anyone to kill him.
I kind of want to say it's both, because I owe him one on this, but at the same time, he wants him dead.
Yeah.
Because he knows it's Peter Parker. He wants Spider-Man dead. Just like any villain would want it.
He basically, they were saying one crate would set them up for life.
Yeah, exactly.
One crate.
And what crate was he going after?
I'm assuming it was the Captain America one.
Nope, Tony Stark arc reactors.
Oh, okay.
It was a huge bin of arc reactors, because guess what? Power source. forever. Well, longer than a person's lifetime.
Yeah, and he had an entire crate of those. Then
Exactly.
Then he wouldn't have to rely on the Chitauri equipment for the power source. He could just use arc reactors.
Well, not just that. I mean, probably more versatile for making things for humans.
Could you imagine if you fused the Chitauri power source with an arc reactor?
I feel like it would blow up.
But what if you could? What if the Tinkerer?
You found a way to not do that.
Could find a way to make the power source more stable, to where then it doesn't blow up.
Yeah. Well, unless Tony just basically found like the same technology just the Chitauri did, because it seems like it's just as powerful.
Yeah, it seems like, but I didn't.
Except it doesn't explode when touched by radiation.
I thought he was going for because even on that flight, we had two pieces of information where the first one was Cap's new shield, where I'm assuming Cap's getting a new shield in either one of the two new Avengers movies.
Yeah,
We're going to see a modified Cap shield. Or if they kill Cap, Bucky or Falcon will get the new shield. However, the one that people have questions about, and this is an Easter egg that people are wondering, Thor's belt. Do you think, because you're the Thor guy in my mind, you are Thor. You dressed up as him when we cosplayed
twice
as the Avengers.
I cosplayed as him twice.
Are you thinking that is just, you know what, that's one of Thor's belts that he left here on Earth when he was here for Avengers 1? Or do you think, I can't remember the name of it, but it's Thor has a special belt that he puts on that kind of makes him stronger, kind of magnifies his strength up a couple levels.
It could be that, actually. That'd be cool. Tony's, because they're going with an idea that Tony makes all this stuff as opposed to like.
And Tony kind of knows what's coming through his visions.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe he's like making all these things. Cap's new shield. Maybe that holographic one. Not holographic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like more like a force field type thing.
You're talking about the Cap shield, where it's kind of like a Reinhardt shield.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just shing. Or the one that I think that'd be cool is it was kind of like an actual like typical shield.
Yeah.
But at the tip it had like a lightsaber edge, to where you can just hack stuff.
Yeah, it could be that. I feel like Cap's less prone to that than the other one.
No, I just think that'd be a cool shield to have.
Would
the force field makes more sense. The one that's more kinetic and not an actual thing of vibranium on your arm.
Yeah.
Even though vibranium is supposed to be light.
Yeah, exactly. Light and one of the strongest metals ever. I mean, it could be that. It could be. It could just be another vibranium one because of the damage done on.
He's been using it for a while now.
And Tony has Cap's shield already, so. I mean, who knows what it's going to be? Yeah, I mean, it's that. I feel like that's probably the case. The second one with the Thor belt, though, because I mean, I feel like it's hard to believe that it's Thor's belt. I mean, you never know.
It'd be a new thing.
It'd be a new thing. Something Tony's working on to make him stronger.
Now, the thing, I want to get to Spider-Man now, because everyone's probably thinking, guys, you're in spoiler mode. You haven't talked about Spider-Man at all. You know, it's the thing I loved most about Spider-Man in this universe? When he was like the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, he was like a celebrity.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, it's like he stops the bike. Hey, is this anyone's bike? Is this anyone's bike? And then just puts a note on it, helps the old lady. She gets him a sandwich. But the coolest part, the funniest part was like, hey, you're that spider guy.
Yeah.
Do a backflip. And he does a flip. And they're like, yeah,
pretty
Spider
good.
Guy. Woo, go Spider Guy. Like, that to me was like, oh my, or no, it was that, you're that Spider Guy from YouTube. Do a flip.
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, that was, to me, I was like, okay, I got to give it up. That was funny. That made me laugh.
The thing is, it's not like he's a celebrity like Tony Stark.
No.
He's a neighborhood celebrity.
Yeah, he's a neighbor. Like, only people in Queens would be like, or Queens and maybe a little bit of New York would know Spider-Man. Like, if he came to Chicago, they'd be like, who the fuck is this guy in red tights?
Who's a weirdo in the red tights?
Yeah, who's the guy in the red tights? But the thing that I also like is the little, like, things that they threw in there.
Yeah.
Which, one of the things, I don't know if they meant it like this, but I took it like this. When he's running in the open field and he just goes, and it goes, and it just flies off. I saw that as like, how many video games have we played with Spider-Man where it's like, I'm swinging, And I don't think my things are grabbing onto anything. It's just
but
going
I'm
up
still
into
swinging
the air.
anyway.
Exactly. That's what I kind of saw it as, like a little throw fun at. Well, you got to have
knock
something
at that
for the webbing to
attach to.
hang on to.
I think it's funny too because it's
you just see him running like, God, this sucks.
And I think it's funny too because Ned is his friend, right?
Yeah, Ned.
And Ned's like, so have you seen how far the webbing goes? And then like shortly after he goes to do it in an open field, goes and then looks at it and just. As it sails away.
That seems a little bit more, but I thought of the video game.
I just thought,
like, man,
I completely agree with you on the video game.
You need something for that thing to
stick
onto.
It's like a knock at it. I thought it was funny though because he like just asked previously in the movie before that. It was pretty funny that like they kind of did both parts.
And then they went into it. But like, I love the progression that he made as well because you could see a progression with Peter Parker throughout this movie because it started out where he was kind of like, I want to be an Avenger. I'm ready. Goes in, hacks into his suit.
Yeah.
Takes off the training wheel protocol, and right away we see, oh shit, I am not ready.
Yeah.
The ricochet.
No, nothing. He knows nothing about his
ricochet webbing, I do love the kill mode. No. I'm not killing anybody. Like, that to me was a little, like, I love that little kill mode. No, not kill mode.
The red light, too.
He doesn't know how to use his web shooter combinations. He's struggling with things going from.
He had what, 700
modes.
and something?
It's interesting. When he had the training wheel protocol on, it was like 52 web slinger combinations.
Yeah.
When he took it off, it was over like 500.
Yeah, I think
that's a little Easter egg that you can notice between the two is that they changed the number once the training wheel protocol is off his suit. So he had that to go with.
Yeah, I think it was like 700 something
combinations. But then we get to the end, and I want to ask you what you thought of the final scene.
Okay.
The scene where he's being crushed by everything, and he's just like summoning the strength to get out of that. And the thing I loved most about it is in that moment, I felt like, holy shit, he's a kid. Like, all of our Spider-Mans to this point, you've never felt like that. This one, like, when he was, like, screaming out, help me! Somebody help me! Help me! Like, you could see the fear, like, holy shit, this is just a kid.
Like he was just about to start crying.
Like, holy shit, this is a kid that got into it.
In over his head.
Yeah, way too in over his head. Where he is not capable. I'm not saying physically, but he is not ready for this kind of a situation.
Exactly.
That's what I thought of. Like, holy shit, is he going to get out of it? Well, of course, you're not going to. Like, they got 2 more movies lined up, and he's going to be in Infinity War. So
like, obviously he's going to get out of it, but
it's like, die, but it's like,
he's got that feeling
shit.
of like, holy crap.
How is he going to, like, when he was like, somebody help me, I'm like, is somebody even there?
Yeah, no one's there.
Is somebody even there? No, nobody was there.
Tony's not there to back him up this time. He doesn't have any way to know he's there.
And that I absolutely love. I love how they gave him the false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
Saved his friends, basically gave him I'm going to say false sense of confidence to where he then tried to do it on the boat, failed, didn't fail horribly, but it was, to me, I loved how they did it where it's like, you did a great job, Peter, but you missed one. And then all of a sudden, twing, 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 and they all start just coming because he missed 1 point. He was 98% complete with all of his getting the anchor points to the ship. And like you said, Iron Man had to come in and save him, which a funny comic relief there. Yeah, go Spider-Man! The ship starts singing again. Go Iron Man! Yeah, go Iron Man!
As soon as Iron Man shows up because Spider-Man actually almost saves the ship.
That guy quickly turned ship.
Right?
Quickly jumped over to the Iron Man
quickly
ship.
Turned ship.
Yeah, quickly turned ship there. But I love how they gave him that false sense of confidence. He lost that in the suit after the fairy thing. And then had to regain it at the end by summoning the strength to get out of there and defeat the Vulture without his suit.
Exactly. No, a great way to show you that, especially yourself more than anything, that you are a hero. Because he had he realized you see him for a while. He's on the verge of crying. You see, it's like any child who's in way over his head.
That I'm telling you, maybe you can say it's Tom Holland's acting, but the way he was screaming out, "Help me, help me."
Yeah.
I literally thought like he was literally in distress.
Yeah,
like
same.
a frightened kid.
I completely agree. He played that part very well. Like a kid, like literally in the situation he was, a kid trapped in rubble. How much distress he's going through. The only difference was he took him. He looked at himself. The half spider. That was a great way to do it.
Kind of half spider,
like the
half.
part of his reflection in the water. The other half, the rest of his mask still above the water.
Yeah,
there's a great way to show like. Oh wait, you know what? No, I have to do this myself.
Because without the suit, I am. If I am nothing without the suit, going back to kind of that thing that Iron Man told him, the same kind of lesson. That
if you're nothing without the suit, you don't deserve it.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point that Iron Man made, and I love how they kind of brought that full circle. One thing we haven't mentioned yet that I think people might be going insane about, we got the Prowler. We were right. I
think it's the Prowler.
It is. No, it is.
It is the Prowler.
It's the second. Aaron Davis is the second version of the Prowler.
Okay.
Hobby Brown?
Hobby Brown was the first.
Aaron Davis is the second. The bigger thing, though, because he mentioned when he was trying to buy the Shatari stuff, he mentioned the Climber.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
can I just get the climbing stuff?
Yeah, to be the Prowler.
Exactly.
He also mentioned, I know how it is. I got a nephew in the neighborhood. You know who his nephew is, right? Miles Morales. That was the thing of Miles is in the universe.
So, I mean,
Miles is here.
We kind of like right on two parts because we also was like, it's got to be like Miles' uncle or something.
We almost said that, like, we thought at first that Donald Glover might have been Miles Morales, but my whole thing is he wouldn't be the same age as Peter.
No.
He'd be younger than Peter. I love how they did that, though. They didn't mention anything about him, just my nephew's in the area.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a nephew in the area.
He has a nephew. That's all he says.
And that's it. And then all we know now is Miles Morales is in the Spider-Man universe.
Well, I love it how he got like a twofer because it's like, oh, okay. Like a really big hint at, okay, Donald Glover, Aaron Davis, is the Prowler. And then I have a nephew in the neighborhood. Sets up Miles Morales. It's great. We got two for one.
If he never said, I have a nephew in the neighborhood, then you could assume, like, okay, Miles might not be born yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But now that he said, I have a nephew, I got a nephew here. Boom. That cements him in the universe to where we know where he is. Well, not exactly where he is, but we know
have an idea.
He's in the MCU. I love that. And I loved how they didn't, like, Donald Glover, they didn't use him too much. They kind of said, like, here's the Prowler. Miles Morales is there. We may see them later. And I know that the thing that Donald Glover's character did do was kind of force the point of, like, you don't know what you're doing, bro.
No.
When he comes in, he's like, where are the crooks? Kind of like all Batman and
I need names.
Yeah. Tell me where Martha is.
Where are the drugs going?
Yeah, where are the drugs going?
I swear to God, I don't know.
But that was also like Spider-Man when he's like leaned up against the car, like, what do you mean? I'm cool. I got this. And he's like, dude, no, you're not.
I heard your voice.
You're not cool. I know you sound like a little girl. Hey, I'm not a little girl. I'm a man.
Boy, girl, I don't care
what you are. The point is, you got to get better at this part.
You got to get better at this part.
At this part of the job is basically what he said. And that scene was another great scene. And another thing we have not mentioned that I nearly tore your arm off.
Yeah, you did.
At the end of the movie, the Iron... Well, some people have called it the Spider Armor, which is different than the Iron Spider.
Yeah.
The armor, like, Spider Armor is actually like big ol' armor. I think this is the Iron Spider.
I think it could be I'm not going to say definitely yes, but I'm going to say it could be a version. The Spider looks more like the Iron Spider one than it does the normal Peter Parker one.
I think that's our version of the Iron Spider.
Which I'll take. I like it.
I think, like, and
I like the nice gold spider.
It was fucking beautiful.
With the blue and red. The official blue and red of Spider-Man.
It was beautiful.
With the nice golden spider, though.
It was like
stretching across the body.
It was absolutely beautiful.
It was.
And, like, the fact that he turned it down makes it like you know that the reason why they did that was to tease us.
Yeah.
It was basically like, Yeah, we'll let him. No.
The same tease as Avengers. Cut off.
Yeah,
not Avengers Assemble.
Let's wait. He's gonna need that suit one day, and then he's gonna put it on in one of the Avengers film. Is it gonna be Infinity Wars or could it be Avengers 4?
I'm saying he could need it someday.
Yes.
Infinity Wars.
Yeah, Thanos is coming. He's gonna need it. Little fabric.
Thanos is coming.
little fabric aren't gonna help him.
Ricky, Thanos is coming.
Thanos is coming. You know nothing, Peter Parker. But.
Okay.
Yeah, I absolutely loved that Iron Spider. And I hit you over the arm, and I know Dave, if he's watching now, can just screw it because he was making fun of me for, hey, we get the little 6-year-old over here because of me. Like, there was one part where we'll get to in a second where I literally went
covering your mouth,
my mouth for like 5 minutes because I was like. And I literally was like that. Like, if I take my hands off my mouth, I am just going that was the best thing to me about this movie.
Oh, no.
It kept me in suspense. It had one of the biggest twists that you could do into a Spider-Man, and it made me feel like, oh, there's some tension here. Yeah. It never made me feel easy.
The one thing I really liked about it was like just the way that you find out, like, for example, Michael Keaton or Adrian Toomes, Vulture, finds out Peter Parker is Spider-Man just going to prom with his daughter.
Well, before that.
Yeah.
The part that I said made me go was when... And it was perfect.
We find out.
It was perfect, too, because the way they set up that scene of Aunt May dropping Peter Parker off for Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming. That's what it was.
But she drops him off, which in any other Aunt May version, I don't see that. Because of the young, hot Aunt May, which I do find funny that they're like, you know what? We made her too hot in Civil War.
Too hot, too young.
Let's try to tone it down a bit by, she's still hot, and people still reference that she's hot, but we're going to make her have the big old granny glasses and
the pulled-up
pants past the waist kind of a thing. And she, like, her dropping him off to Homecoming to pick up the date, and then who answers the door? The Vulture. It's like, whoa! I just went, and then like later on, I went.
My eyes got super wide because I'm like,
and I said,
I said it to you.
For that entire scene, I was like, or I was just like looking around, and my hands did not come off my face. Did not come off my face.
He answers the door, and the first thing I say to you is,
Peter.
What a twist!
What a twist! Spider-Man: Homecoming, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. But
oh my god, I did not. I'm sorry. We should have.
Even the entire tension of that scene, where you can tell Peter has tension, and at first you're thinking, "Well, did he kidnap her? Is this a ruse? Is this his house?" And then the wife walks out, and you're like, "Fuck."
No,
Fuck,
that was
real.
I'll be honest. That was not cool because you have so much tension built up because he's walking past. He's following the dad in. Yeah, with a knife. He's following the dad in, and all of a sudden, wife pops out. I'm like,
I jumped.
I went,
oh my God.
I don't normally for a lot of things, but I jumped because they came out of nowhere.
I jumped and looked around, and then I felt at ease because you jumped also.
Yeah.
I noticed that you jumped because our arms were like touching each other, and my arms usually go out when I jump.
Yeah,
and
I'll be honest.
Yours.
I don't, and Ricky Karlic can attest to this. I don't jump a lot.
No, you don't.
I don't take a lot of jump scares. Don't get me.
I'm the one that gets jump scared.
That jump scared me because there was so much tension built up just from that the 2 minute of them meeting and like realizing, oh my God, this is the Vulture.
Yeah.
That when he's like looking around the house, all of a sudden he looks like in one direction, the wife goes, pop, out of nowhere. It's like,
well, and also I love how the tension of him being the Vulture.
Yeah.
And kind of doing that dad interrogation thing with the knife where he's like, good answer, Peter.
Yeah.
Right answer, Pedro. And he's like pointing the knife at him.
What's really funny though is he, at that time, the character probably thought that, hey, this is working. I'm really intimidating this kid.
Yeah, because he didn't know at the time that. Well,
he didn't know it was Spider-Man at the time.
He didn't put it together until the car.
Yeah.
Because she mentioned the Tony Stark internship.
And he wasn't in the elevator. He was missing.
Yeah, he wasn't in the elevator. He was missing.
And he was recognizing the voice. That's the biggest part. He was like recognizing his voice. He's like, I've heard this voice before. You can see it on his face as he's driving.
Oh, he was putting it together.
Yeah, exactly.
He was putting the pieces together.
Oh, no. He put it together by the end of that car ride because why else would he threaten him?
Exactly. He was putting it together throughout that entire
car ride,
which was also a funny thing was when Spider-Man was driving. I just remembered that. Him like, haven't you ever drove? Not without Aunt May. And it was like really
in the parking
slow.
lot.
Yeah, in the parking lot. How do I turn on the headlights? And Ned's got to look up.
Chair guy.
Man, Ned had some lines.
Ned was pretty good.
The line that broke me because in my head I thought about it as they're not gonna go there. And when he's like, "What are you doing in here?" Looking up porn. Because in my head I'm like, your mind goes there because you're like, goes to the gutter. But then when he said it, I was like, I turned to you and I went, he said what I was thinking. Usually that doesn't happen with Marvel movies.
Oh, I'm surprised that Marvel went the.
Especially Disney.
Yeah,
Disney, Marvel
I'm surprised they went a few. Was it Zendaya as Michelle? Peter walks into prom or not homecoming, not prom.
Yeah,
and she goes.
Yeah, and she just flicks him off. He looks over and she just goes, bam, and she flicks him off.
You and I both look at each other
I was like,
Disney?
This is a Disney Marvel movie,
Disney?
isn't it?
What?
And I'm like, she was a Disney Channel star.
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
She? Wasn't she a Disney Channel star?
Yeah. No, that was weird. There's some little things that I was surprised that Marvel Disney allowed. So maybe they're kind of pushing the envelope a little.
This was just a great movie.
Oh, it was all around.
And I'm trying to think before we get to our show stealer and before we get to our
rating
of webheads. How many webheads are we going to give it out of 5?
We're going webheads?
Yeah, we're going webheads. We're going back to we're throwing it back.
Okay, webheads.
Yeah,
that's fine.
A little throwback to JJJ because he wasn't in the film at all.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the film whatsoever. But is there anything that you think we haven't touched on? Spoiler. Oh, that's what we haven't touched on. How Marvel trolled us.
No, I think
Marvel
before we do that,
let's
talk about this
MJ.
little love triangle going on.
Here's the thing that Marvel has said.
Okay.
They've come out and said they're not saying that Michelle might not be the MJ we all think she will be.
Okay.
But they're leaving the door open that her and Peter might date in the future.
Yeah.
So they might date, but it might not. She might not take on the same arc that the MJ we know.
Yeah, which I understand. What I want to bring up.
Just let her be MJ.
Let
her be Mary Jane.
I feel like it's an important part to go about is the fact that just as love triangle in general, we had to have Liz to kind of popular girl pique Peter's interest, and I like the way they went about it because they have Liz here, Peter here, but who's crushing on Peter is Michelle.
Yeah,
kind of almost stalking him.
Yeah, I'm not creeping on him. I'm just observant.
Why are you in detention?
Yeah, why are you in detention?
You don't even have to. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I just like drawing people in distress. Misery. Yeah. Hannibal Buress, though, by the way, ultimate support character.
That was great.
I think he's a wanted criminal now, but I got to show you these movies.
To respect your gym teacher over here.
And he's standing on the other side of the TV. I want to ask you well, actually, before I do that, my thought on the MJ thing.
Yes.
Let her be MJ.
I agree.
Don't do this thing where it's they date, but she's not MJ. No. Make her be, commit to the role. Because, I said to you after, I was like, I wish they would have went with, the Mary Jane that we know.
Yeah.
Red hair, typical Mary Jane. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? If you're going to go down this route, MCU, do it. Go 110%. If you're going to say she's MJ...
Balls to the wall?
Go ahead, balls to the wall, make her MJ.
Yeah.
Make her Mary Jane, because I like the character that she played.
So do I.
And I think I would like to see her in future movies and maybe be that love interest to Peter Parker. Because we also got a Gwen Stacy pseudo-reference.
Yeah.
When in the elevator scene where he shoots the web...
To save Liz.
And not just that, he saves her. That's the Gwen Stacy one. But then when Karen tells him to kiss her, that was a throwback to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man with the kiss scene.
Yeah, I remember that because he's hanging upside down. It's like, this is your time. You can. This is
the perfect time to kiss her. And that was the throwback to the upside down kiss. Which I was like, I smiled and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But no, the thing that I wanted to say, and now I'm completely forgetting about it. But if I'm going to remember, let's go to the after credit scene because I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Our first one I want to talk about is the one we kind of talked about earlier. You have Scorpion, but we also have Vulture, and they're in the same prison. They meet up and they talk about that. They're putting together something. And I know some guys.
They're teasing the Sinister Six.
Exactly, they're teasing the Sinister Six, which is great because we have Vulture. Because he wants to be part of it. We have the guy that he's got to be Scorpion.
No, he is.
Why would you accentuate the Scorpion tattoo on his neck so much?
He's got the same name as the Scorpion from the comics.
See, I didn't remember his name.
Gorgon. Gorgon, I think is his name. Was it Gorgon? Yeah.
Okay.
It has the name they used in the movie was the same name from the comics. Just like the guy who took the Shocker the second time.
Herman Schultz.
He was, Herman Schultz is the Shocker in the... It's weird. The guy who took the Shocker the first time, I believe was the Shocker in one of the cartoons. I think like the Ultimate Spider-Man or something. Okay. But the second guy who took up the Shocker, Schultz, was the Shocker from the he was the original Shocker.
Shocker one, Jackson Bryce, and then for the Scorpion. There we go.
Yeah,
Mac Gargan.
Yeah, Gargan. That's the guy who that. He is the Scorpion. So they're setting up the Sinister Six for just kind of setting up the Spidey universe.
It'd be great. It's great. I really like it. So I mean, we get a hint at the Sinister Six. Now, do we want to talk about the Troll?
The Troll.
The Troll.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Wait for your after credit scene. Go ahead.
Oh, that's what I'm like. For a second, I'm thinking Johnny the Troll. No,
what's the Troll? I don't know this one.
The after credit scene where it's basically like ha 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 ha. We made you wait.
We know we have you on a leash.
We made you that's Marvel when you know Marvel has us by the balls when we'll wait 10 minutes just to see 30 minutes more.
30 seconds more?
Not even 30 seconds more.
You said 30 minutes.
I know. But it feels like 30 minutes. God. Just teasing for the next movie.
Oh.
Just teasing. And then it's Cap, and he's like, sometimes patience pays off. It's like, fuck you, Cap.
I was just sitting there.
You're playing with me here.
You and Dave were both sitting there with me. Like, here's the thing. You saw my reaction.
Here's the thing I want to throw out. And this was, I heard this somewhere else.
Okay.
Now, when he says at the end, how many more of these do we got? Now, is that a reference to the easy one of how many things he recorded for the gym taping thing?
Yeah.
Because now you're in detention. He had all of those.
Exactly.
Now, was that a reference to that? Or was that maybe a reference to Chris Evans' contract? Or a sense of the after credits of so how many more movies do I got? How many more of these do I have?
I want to say it's just the school things.
I think it'd be hilarious. That was like a joke into
his contract,
into Captain America, how long he's going to be around, or if maybe we get into we're not going to have the end credit scene. We'll have the one like we did before, but we're going to stop doing.
I really hope they don't stop doing that.
No, because it gets us to watch the credits.
Yeah, it gets us to see the credits, but not just that. Gets us ready for the next movie. Gets us more. It gets us as fans.
It gets us stuff to talk about.
Yeah, well, no, it gives us stuff to talk about.
We wouldn't have a job without it, Johnny.
That's true. We wouldn't have anything to do with this.
We would just say it was a good movie, and then that would be
great movie, guys. Have a nice day. No, I mean, not just that, but as fans, I feel like it gives us more hype than just waiting for the next trailer to see the next movie.
Yeah.
Seeing some of that stuff after all these other movies, want to see it way more than if they didn't have it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd go see it otherwise. You got Marvel, you got your hand in my pocket no matter what. So, good job to you guys. But I mean, it makes me like, what happened when Thor Ragnarok was hinted?
I was totally that's what I was waiting for.
How have I been acting waiting for Thor Ragnarok?
I was waiting for something because did you get the little hint they threw in the bank robbery scene where he mentions oh, hey Thor, hey Hulk, because when he was in a Civil War, who were the two that weren't there?
Yeah.
Thor and Hulk.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not Hulk. You're not Thor. Like,
Hulk gives it away.
Yeah, Hulk gives it away. Those were the two that were not there when he met the Avengers in real life.
Exactly. No, and my thing though is just, again, after credit scenes, please keep them. Please don't stop doing this.
I don't think you need to ask them to keep them. I know I mentioned like, oh, well, they're going to keep doing it.
They are going to keep doing it.
They're going to keep doing it.
But the other thing too, I was going to say, nothing after credit scenes, but again, you didn't answer. How have I been acting waiting for Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, he's going a little stir-cray.
I am
a little stir-cray-cray.
Still
stir-cray-cray.
So yeah, that's just evidence that
Johnny's going a little stir-cray-cray.
You guys just keep those after credit scenes, but you don't even need it because you have your hand in my pocket.
Johnny cannot wait to see Thor Ragnarok.
Nope.
The one thing I did remember that I wanted to say before we get to the actual rating and then the show stealer is what's funny is the character of Liz in the comics, I believe, marries, I believe it's Harry Osborn.
Yeah, really.
So that was also funny where in the comics she's not Toombs' daughter, but she marries a villain in the comics. So kind of staying true to that side
a relationship
of it, where she is related
to a
villain of Spider-Man. But Johnny, we're going to get into the last part of our kind of podcast here for the Spider-Man review. Kind of podcast. Well, it feels like...
It's only sort of a podcast.
It feels like more of a review to you guys than it does an actual podcast.
Yeah,
it doesn't fit our podcast form, but we're going to get into the rating. But before that, something special we do here on the Rick and Johnny podcast for our reviews, which I am in the works of getting maybe a webpage or a running count of who we've had as the show stealers for the R&J Show Stealer Award
for each movie,
both me and Johnny. And basically, this is the person where we thought they stole the show. They had an amazing performance, and we think the movie would have been a lot, not lesser, but it would have been a lot different without this person.
Exactly.
I'm going to have you go first. Who's your show stealer for Spider-Man Homecoming?
My show stealer is the main actor, Tom Holland. He did a fabulous job.
He was my number 2.
Yeah.
He was my number 1.
He did a fabulous job portraying a kid with superpowers trying to belong in a group.
He was Peter Parker.
He was Peter Parker. And especially that end scene right before the, like...
Where he's yelling out.
Yeah.
Yelling out.
Exactly. Like, he was the funniness of Peter Parker. You still got some solemnness there because my life's not the same. Like we got in a lot of our other Spider-Mans. But then, like, just to see, like, him acting like a real kid.
No, that's exactly it. And
he did it perfectly.
One of the scenes I love most that we didn't mention throughout the podcast, and I'm glad you did that because it reminded me, when he was locked up in the holding cell with Karen.
Yeah.
Where it's basically, how long have we been here? Oh, only 30 minutes. And, like, everything that his personality was there, swinging on the web hammock, kind of talking to Karen. Like, Tom Holland was, like, this is the best Spider-Man. Like, I know that I said it jokingly as we walked out of the theater, like, move over, Tobey Maguire, move over, Andrew Garfield. Not that they were bad. Tom Holland's Spider-Man was just really good.
He was phenomenal.
Like, really good to where it's like, I thought that, like, obviously there's different versions of Peter Parker. Like, we've talked about before.
Yeah.
The 90s cartoon, which I grew up with. That was more of Well, we grew up with.
I'm trying to take my Marvel away.
I didn't know if you were more of the comic side of it, though.
No,
you liked Marvel more than I did.
Yeah, no, I did the shows a lot.
He was in the college atmosphere, and he wasn't necessarily the high school kid. The first one I saw that kind of wrapped me into the high school world was the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yes.
And which is amazing because the shot of the school that they had in Homecoming, identical to the Ultimate Spider-Man, which I thought was great. Also another Easter egg that I'm not sure if you noticed. Did you notice anything about the principal? About who he was related to?
No, I missed the name.
Do you remember? I can't remember the guy's name, but it was the Asian guy from Cap's crew.
Principal Morita?
Yeah.
Oh,
up in the corner, you saw like the military photo.
Yeah.
At first, I thought, oh, that was just him. But then I looked at it and I went, no, he's related to one of the guys from Cap's original crew.
Calling Commandos.
Like a descendant of from Captain America #1.
Yeah.
Not the Winter Soldier, the First Avenger.
Maybe that's why they have to use the Captain America films at school.
Maybe they do. Maybe that's why. Or it's because the director of the movie remembered that in school they did the President Reagan fitness challenge, which I don't know about you. I didn't remember. I think in the 90s or more towards the 2000s, they got rid of that.
They did. It's a different. In my high school, they just called it the Presidential Challenge or something like that.
Okay. Well, so it was a high school thing.
It was a high school.
See, I never had
grade
to do
school.
that
They had something, and I don't remember what it was.
I never had to do that in high school.
Well, lucky you.
Maybe it's because I didn't go to a public school. Maybe that's why. But
maybe
my Show Stealer Award, very simple. I told you about this.
Yeah,
rewind the tape.
He predicted it.
I predicted it, and it's true. It's the Vulture. It's Michael Keaton. To me, stole the show in this.
My number 2.
Like I said, this is the best Marvel villain that I've seen in the MCU. Because I was talking about it with you. I'm like, well, you know what? Red Skull, he's got him beat. Like, all of the ones that Iron Man had gone up against don't even compare. The only one that I could say, okay, maybe, would be Ultron.
Ultron, yeah.
Because, I mean, the thing with Loki is he's a trickster. He's not the same kind of villain that Michael Keaton was. And I feel like Ultron, the main difference is Ultron had a little bit more comedy in his shtick.
He did.
Where it was a little bit more sarcastic asshole towards Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah. No, just towards everyone. He didn't like humanity at all.
Yeah, but he really had it out against
Tony
Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
Don't call me that.
Don't call me that. But also, you had the same thing with Toombs, but just the way Keaton sold it. Even the one thing I didn't mention that it just popped into my head was when Peter had his hand web shot to the table.
Yeah.
And they're just talking, and he's so calm. The first thing I thought about in my head was, fuck, he's got Aunt May. He's got Aunt May. He knows who Peter is. He has Aunt May. That's what's going to happen. I'm like, he has Aunt May. Aunt May's in trouble. Peter's going to... And they didn't do that, which I'm glad they didn't do the whole Aunt May in trouble thing. But just that scene, just talking to him like a normal, like, adult to a kid. And because he knows who Spider-Man is. He knows
exactly
that it's Pedro. But...
Frank?
And then to say the whole, like, well, it didn't hit me. Yeah, it wasn't supposed to. And then everything just comes... crushing down. Like, Michael Keaton in this movie, to me, best Marvel villain that I've seen in an MCU film. Maybe there's one that I'm thinking of, but Thor didn't really have one that stuck out to me. The Hulks didn't stick out to me. Captain America, like I said, Grayskull and Bucky were kind of
Bright Skull.
And then, like, there was no other villain that had his performance had the same effect over me of, wow, walking out of that film, like, that was a great performance. And that's why I was giving it to Michael Keaton. But both you, like, yours was my number 2, closely behind. Mine was your number 2.
Exactly.
And I also want to give an honorable mention to Ned.
Yes, Ned.
Ned was the best comic relief.
The chair guy.
The chair guy. He was the best comic relief. I think him and Michelle are 2 honorable mentions.
Yeah,
because they were the perfect compliments, high school wise, to Peter Parker.
Yeah, they were the dorky friends that the nerd had.
Yeah,
so,
well,
no, they were.
Mean, Michelle was kind of like I'm not your friend, but I want to be your friend.
Well,
but it's too cool to be your friend, so I'm not going to be your friend.
Exactly, as complicated as that sounded.
She was a hot potato.
Yeah, well, that and she it wasn't more so she wanted to be a friend.
Peter.
She liked Peter.
She liked Peter.
They were friends, like, halfway.
But Ned was awesome. Can I wear the mask? Dropping the globe. Oh, this is so cool.
You're Spider-Man.
You were on the ceiling.
No, I wasn't.
Ned, you can't tell anyone about this. I'm going to be honest. I can't do that. This is like the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. I like Ned, honorable mention for Ned because he was a great comic relief. But to get to the very end, first off, webheads. You feeling webheads? You think there should be something else?
Let's go with webheads.
5 webheads out of 5. How many are you giving it?
5.
Giving it a perfect 5.
We're giving it a perfect 5.
I'm going to give it 5 my own. And the reason I'm saying it the way I am is because Johnny, I've come to a revelation here on the Rick and Johnny podcast.
Okay.
We see 2, except for the Mummy, we see too many like movies that I like.
Yeah.
We see a lot of movies that I like because The Mummy's the only one for me that hasn't gotten a good score of a 4. Everything else has gotten a 4 or above. So
yeah.
I have come to the conclusion that everything we see is just stuff that I really like. And they haven't, thankfully, haven't screwed it up. Power Rangers, I was nervous. And in that review, I was like, it's a 4. Like, I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. Spider-Man was phenomenal, though.
It was.
I cannot wait for them to continue building him in 2 more films, 2 Avenger films, and then hopefully by the end of that trilogy, them and Sony just ink the paper to have Spider-Man in this universe for longer.
Just maybe like sign.
Hopefully Fox makes the same deal and puts either Logan or the Fantastic Four in this universe.
Or both.
Could you imagine a Wolverine in this universe?
Be fantastic.
It would be Fantastic Four. That's what it would be. Put them in it too. Just bring everybody together. But any last thoughts? Because like I think with this review, it's easy. It was a great movie. It had its suspense. It had its funny times. It had its story. The plot was great throughout. I feel like even if you're not a comic book fan,
you would still
go to this and enjoy it as a regular movie. It would just be a good movie for you. Like you'd be like, wow, I was entertained throughout because of the suspense and the like. It actually, how many Marvel movies had made me gone and just stay there with a plot twist that they threw? Because Marvel usually doesn't throw that kind of a plot twist at us. Any last thoughts that you have about the movie?
One funny one I just want to throw out real quick.
Okay.
When Spider-Man puts his suit back on that Tony Stark took away.
Okay.
What happened like 3 seconds after that?
What the fuck?
Exactly.
Aunt May found out.
Just standing there all proud and, what the fuck?
Yeah, Aunt May found out.
It was great.
Which it's going to be interesting because now Aunt May knows that Peter Parker is
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that one goes.
How that pans out.
Eventually, doesn't Aunt May in the comics eventually
she finds out? Yeah. She finds out. Peter tells her.
Yeah. So this was them just kind of advancing that storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, if we only have 3 movies to
plus, it seemed like him and Aunt May were really close, anyways. Yeah. Maybe this just brings them closer in their relationship. But that's going to do it for this longer review. I think this is one of our longest reviews since Logan.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I think Logan was our longest. This one shouldn't be too far behind Logan, but this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below. If you saw the movie, what do you think about it? If you didn't see the movie, what are you doing? Go see this movie. It's an amazing movie.
Go see it now.
Marvel's not paying me to say that. I am saying that because I love this movie that much. It was a fantastic movie in my eyes. You should go see it. Just go and have a good time. But also, I'm serious. Let us know down below what you guys think about the movie. Want to thank you guys for watching and checking it out. Go ahead, hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Ricky Widmer. He's at
War Machine 9085.
Most Valuable Pod is Most Valuable Podcast. Thank you guys again, and as always, have a good day, everybody.